Hello everyone, it's Scruffy here again. Invasive species are causing chaos everywhere. For example, the gray squirrels that are wreaking havoc. Protecting animal rights is necessary, but we must carefully consider and find balanced solutions to protect both animals and maintain ecological balance. Let's discover the end of this fierce battle together, but before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any fascinating content from the animal world. Invasive species are non-native species introduced to a new environment, and they can cause numerous negative impacts on the local ecosystem. The rescue and control plans for invasive species need to be systematically implemented and closely monitored. Only then can we protect the ecosystem's balance and ensure that our actions are genuinely beneficial. A prime example is the case of gray squirrels in the United Kingdom and Italy. This species was introduced from North America in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, initially to enrich the local fauna. However, with their high adaptability and rapid reproduction rate, gray squirrels quickly spread and became a significant threat to native species. Gray squirrels and red squirrels compete directly for food and habitat. Gray squirrels, being larger and more aggressive, often dominate areas with abundant food sources like acorns, pine nuts, and other seeds. This competition makes it even harder for red squirrels, which are already struggling to find food. As a result, the red squirrel population has dramatically decreased in areas invaded by gray squirrels. One of the critical factors increasing the threat of gray squirrels to red squirrels is their carrying of the squirrelpox virus. This virus is fatal to red squirrels, but does not affect gray squirrels. As gray squirrels spread this virus, red squirrel numbers rapidly decline, potentially leading to local extinctions in some areas. In addition to competing for food and spreading viruses, gray squirrels also damage trees by stripping bark to eat the sap. This action not only harms the trees, but can also lead to their death, removing food sources and shelters for many other species. The presence of gray squirrels disrupts the local ecosystem balance, affecting biodiversity and the stability of natural habitats. In 1997, the National Wildlife Institute and the University of Turin coordinated to implement a critical plan to protect the local ecosystem in Italy from the invasion of gray squirrels. The plan aimed to reduce the gray squirrel population to protect native species, restore ecosystem balance, and prevent negative impacts on biodiversity. However, animal rights activists opposed this plan, arguing that gray squirrels also have the right to live and that eliminating them is cruel. They demanded alternative methods such as controlling reproduction or relocating gray squirrels to other areas instead of killing them. The legal challenges by animal rights activists led to delays in implementing the plan. During the legal dispute, the gray squirrel population continued to grow uncontrollably. This increase caused more competition for food, reducing the numbers of red squirrels and other native species. The invasion range of gray squirrels expanded to more areas, worsening the situation. The consequence of this event is a severely altered local ecosystem, affecting biodiversity and the survival of many native species. This event clearly demonstrates that environmental and animal protection requires close coordination among many stakeholders, including scientists, animal rights activists, and the community. Only with comprehensive understanding and cooperation can we come up with effective and sustainable solutions for complex environmental issues. The invasion of gray squirrels in Europe has caused severe consequences for the ecosystem and native animals. To protect and maintain ecological balance, cooperation among scientists, environmental managers, and the community is essential. Effective control and management of gray squirrel populations will help protect native species and ensure the sustainable development of the ecosystem. Besides gray squirrels, other cases where rescuing animals without proper planning and understanding also led to unfortunate consequences. Number 1. The lobster rescue in Dublin. Animal activists released lobsters into the sea around Dublin. Despite their good intentions, this action led to the death of lobsters due to the unsuitable environment. The lobsters couldn't adapt to the new conditions, resulting in serious consequences. This event highlights the importance of understanding the ecology and habitats of animal species before undertaking any rescue activities. Rescue and release should be done with careful consideration and expert knowledge to avoid causing unintended harm to both animals and the ecosystem. Number 2. The case of the marbled crayfish. This species can self-clone and spread rapidly, posing a significant risk to freshwater ecosystems. Marbled crayfish do not need to mate to reproduce. Instead, they can create clones of themselves from unfertilized eggs. This allows their population to expand quickly and be difficult to control. The increase in marbled crayfish populations can unbalance the ecosystem, competing with native species for food and habitat, and altering the structure and function of freshwater ecosystems. This case emphasizes the necessity of managing and controlling invasive species to protect biodiversity and maintain the stability of natural environments. Number 3. The case of mute swans. Mute swans, introduced from Europe to the United States, have become an invasive species, significantly harming native waterfowl and underwater plants. This species was brought to the U.S. in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, mainly for ornamental purposes in lakes and parks. However, mute swans quickly spread and thrived in the wild. They compete with native waterfowl for food and habitat, reducing the population and diversity of native birds. They consume large amounts of underwater vegetation, depleting food sources and shelter for many other aquatic species. The presence of mute swans can also alter the structure and function of aquatic ecosystems, leading to serious biodiversity issues. Number 4. The case of cane toads in Australia. Cane toads were introduced to Australia in 1935 to control agricultural pests in sugarcane fields. Instead of solving the pest problem, cane toads spread widely and became a significant invasive species, harming the native ecosystem. They breed quickly and have few natural predators in Australia, allowing them to spread rapidly across tropical and subtropical areas. They compete with native species for food, reducing available resources for these species. Additionally, cane toads secrete toxins from their skin glands, causing the death of many native predators, including snakes, lizards, and mammals. These species haven't evolved to cope with the toxins of cane toads, leading to significant population declines. Number 5. The case of brown rats on islands. Brown rats have devastated seabird populations and small animals on many islands by eating eggs, young birds, and competing for food. They were introduced to islands through human activities, and without many natural predators, brown rats thrived, causing serious impacts on native ecosystems. Eating eggs and young birds has led to significant declines in many seabird populations. Additionally, brown rats compete with native small animals for food, reducing their survival chances. The impact of brown rats has disrupted ecosystem balance, threatening the existence of many native species. Number 6. The case of European carp in North America. European carp, introduced for aquaculture, have spread widely and caused numerous negative impacts on freshwater ecosystems. They degrade water quality by stirring up bottom sediments, making the water turbid and reducing the photosynthetic ability of underwater plants. European carp also destroy underwater vegetation by eating roots and damaging native plant species, leading to habitat loss for many aquatic animals. Additionally, they compete with native fish for food and habitat, reducing the population and diversity of native fish. These impacts not only affect biodiversity, but also cause economic and environmental issues. Number 7. The case of brown tree snakes in Guam. Brown tree snakes, introduced to Guam after World War II, have caused a disaster for the island's native bird populations. This snake species, having no natural predators in Guam, spread quickly and became a significant threat. Brown tree snakes eat eggs and young birds, leading to severe declines in native bird populations. Many endemic bird species in Guam have gone extinct or are near extinction due to the impact of brown tree snakes. The decline in bird populations also affects the island's ecosystem, as birds play crucial roles in pollinating plants and controlling insect populations. Number 8. The case of lionfish in the Atlantic Ocean. Lionfish, native to the Indian and Pacific Oceans, have spread in the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, putting significant pressure on coral reef ecosystems. This fish species is known for its striking appearance and voracious appetite, making it a severe threat to underwater biodiversity. Lionfish have no natural predators in these new regions, allowing them to reproduce quickly and dominate habitats. They consume a variety of small fish and invertebrates, competing for food with native species and reducing their numbers. This severely impacts the balance of coral reef ecosystems, which are already under pressure from climate change, pollution, and human activities. Number 9. The case of beavers in Tierra del Fuego, Argentina, and Chile. Beavers imported from North America have caused significant changes in the habitats of Tierra del Fuego, Argentina, and Chile. With their dam-building behavior, beavers have had considerable impacts on the river ecosystems in this region. Beavers build dams to create still water ponds for living and breeding. However, these dams have caused flooding, altering the natural flow of rivers and streams. As a result, large areas have been flooded, changing the structure and function of the ecosystem. Number 10. The case of feral cats in Australia. Feral cats have caused significant declines and even led to the extinction of many small animals and native birds in Australia. Introduced by European explorers and settlers in the 18th century, feral cats have quickly thrived and become one of the most significant threats to Australia's biodiversity. Feral cats hunt small animals such as small marsupials, reptiles, insects, and birds. They are efficient hunters, active both day and night, with high hunting success rates. Many of Australia's native species cannot cope with the predation by feral cats, leading to severe population declines and even extinction of some species. Number 11. The case of sea lampreys in the Great Lakes of the USA and Canada. Sea lampreys have caused significant declines in native fish populations in the Great Lakes of the USA and Canada. Known for their parasitic nature and blood-sucking ability, this species has had substantial negative impacts on native fish, especially trout and herring. Sea lampreys entered the Great Lakes through the canal and shipping systems in the early 20th century. They use their round, toothed mouth to attach to fish and suck their blood, causing severe wounds and weakening or killing the host fish. This has led to significant declines in trout and herring populations, which are economically and ecologically important in the region. The above cases illustrate the necessity of collaboration between activists and biologists. A successful example of controlling invasive wild boars in Texas emphasizes the importance of cooperation to protect nature effectively. Invasive wild boars have caused significant damage to agriculture, ecosystems, and public safety in Texas, with their ability to destroy crops, compete with native wildlife, and spread diseases. Acknowledging the severity of the issue, activists and biologists have developed and implemented strategies to control wild boar populations. This cooperation includes using scientific methods to monitor and study wild boar behavior, leading to effective control measures. These measures include trapping wild boars, controlling reproduction, and regulated hunting. Activists have played a crucial role in raising public awareness about the impact of invasive wild boars and encouraging community involvement in control programs. Meanwhile, biologists have provided scientific data and expertise to develop sustainable and effective control strategies. The collaboration between activists and biologists has resulted in encouraging outcomes in controlling invasive wild boars in Texas. This cooperation has not only reduced wild boar numbers, but also protected local ecosystems and agriculture, while raising community awareness and participation in environmental protection. This example shows the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration in addressing complex environmental issues. By combining scientific knowledge with active community participation, we can develop sustainable and effective solutions to protect nature. Through the stories above, it is clear that protecting the environment and animals requires understanding and close coordination among many stakeholders. This is the key to addressing these complex issues. Keep following us to discover new solutions, dramatic upcoming stories, and shocking truths about the battle to protect nature. If you love animal videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to explore even more fascinating content.